Hey everyone, this is Angela with Home Life Tutorial. Just wanted to do a short video to kind of tell you about some of the changes that we're going to be doing this next year. When we first got started, we really wanted to keep small classes, have hands-on discussion-based classroom setting, parent involvement. We've managed to keep some of these things over the last few years, but really feeling like, we've realized this setting, while traditional in nature, doesn't really meet up with the philosophy and really accomplish what it is we've wanted to accomplish. Our motto has been homeschool away from homeschool, and that's one area that's really been really difficult to institute through a typical classroom. So we also believe there's good programs out there in Jackson, good programs, good instructors in the Jackson area, and so we just really looked at, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Why are we offering some of the same things others are offering? What can we do? What's an alternative and a niche that we can fill in the Jackson and West Tennessee area? And so I had this idea, and that's kind of how it all started. But to make a long story shorter, we wanted to really provide a more student-based learning environment, really focusing on students and where they're at and what they need. We wanted students to be able to hone in on critical thinking skills, be more aware of the world around them, foster a sense of community, working together on projects with other students, and spending time, focusing on the work and the study and the hands-on and the projects and, like I said, critical thinking skills. So asking a lot of questions and working through the answers is a big part of what we're wanting to accomplish through integrated studies in English and history and humanities like government and philosophy. Really focus on kind of goal-based planning, which is a big focal point for HLA's high school direction, and looking at what is it the student needs. Do they need a geography or do they need a U.S. history, and being able to provide that through different tracks. So if a student needs U.S. history, they can choose a U.S. history track and be able to complete those credits that they're needing. There's also science and art and math options, and a full day of labs and projects and group study to really work together. But we'll also still keep the a la carte classes because we know that's been really important to a lot of families. So really wanting to incorporate a more multi-level learning environment with students who can mentor and really glean from one another. Multi-use classroom with a science lab and a full art studio so that students can work and be creative. We're incorporating a STEAM-based learning and science and art projects so that they can study things in engineering and design, or even just simple science principles like simple machines and things in a more hands-on way where they can really learn these things. Pushing these students to give their best, to work hard where they're at and not really depend on a balanced classroom. Really feel like this is one of the areas that is really hard in the typical classroom. Meeting a couple of hours a week, there are students that need to work ahead and students that need more time on concepts, and so this will be a more a self-paced environment where students can be challenged if they need to be challenged, and can be nurtured if they need to in certain areas and concepts. So also letting them show what they've learned in different and creative ways. If they like to do videos, or if they like to speak, they can do it through a speech, or they can do it through a video, or through a short skit or something like that, rather than taking a test if that's not the most effective way for that particular student to show what they've learned. We really want to work in conjunction with parents for the education of these students, and really want to have an open door to families being able to come in and participate. We're going to provide weekly lesson plans to these families so that they can look and see what that student's going to be doing in the upcoming week, to see if maybe they're going to be out of town. They can make adjustments to that. They can just know kind of what's going on. And some parents may just want to sign off and say, this looks great, and let the teacher do whatever they feel is best during that week. But we just want the parents to feel like they have a little more control. We're planning to have an environment that serves each student's learning style, whether, it's having a dartboard for a student to throw while they're thinking, or a beanbag to sit on and to do independent study or reading, or maybe a walk around the building if they need to refocus. or even some time maybe in the garden pulling weeds. We will have physical education incorporated throughout the week as well. It's just really how does your student learn best, and we really want to know that. After all, it's really what homeschooling is about, is being able to work directly with a student where they're at and how they learn the best so that they can learn the most. It's really exciting to think about a lot of the possibilities, and we really hope that you'll grow with us. And we realize this may not be what everyone is looking for, but it may be perfect fit for many, and that's exciting and important to us, that students in the Jackson area have choices, and they have good choices. You know, they have a lot of options here, and we just want to provide another option. There's so much more I could say really about how passionate we are about this philosophy and about what we're doing. We do believe that this will really nurture a love of learning, build relationships for these students, assist parents, and benefit students in a way that's really so much better. You know, if there's more questions that you have, which I'm sure you will, we'll actually be having an open house on March 14th here at the HLA offices. So we'd, invite you to come. That's going to be from 10:30 to 12:30 on March 14th. We just really appreciate you, and thanks for listening.